music culture.
Music was the soundtrack to the whole thing, and in some cases, it was what was stirring the pot. It was all about altered states of ecstasy. It was approximating the drug experience.
Francisco sound was basically the music that was produced by guys who had a lot of time and a lot of drugs and were trying to recreate their experiences in music. Country Joe, the Quicksilver Messenger Service, the Grateful Dead, the Ace of Cups, which was an all-girl band, Big Brother and the Holding Company, and Janice. You know, these were our people. This was our community.
Yeah, the San Francisco bands had a new kind of style. It was basically the style of acid heads talking to acid heads. And one of the things that was happening that was so exciting is that we seemed to be getting validation from the London scene. There was a kind of an international rock and roll psychedelic community. Then we started getting direct confirmation from the Beatles, which first we scarcely dared imagine. The Beatles were the most famous celebrities in the world, and they were doing the same stuff we were. And Owsley, of course, says he gave him some of his acid.
Paul, how often have you taken LSD?
Well, 4 times.
And where did you get it from?
Oh, you know, I mean, if I was to say where I got it from, you know, it's illegal and everything. It's silly to say that, and so I'd rather not say that.
By that time, they were stars, they had access to the media, and they became the expression of the counterculture to the mainstream.
1, 2, 3,
People assumed, of course, that a song like Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds had to do with LSD because of images like tangerine trees and marmalade skies. Lennon denied that Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds was specifically about LSD, but nobody believed him. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Lucy in the sky.
Went from wearing suits to wearing dashikis and nerus in the matter of like 3 years.
You know, you saw it start to happen to them. And it was like, oh my God, my favorite band is on acid. That was only the beginning of it.
Monterey embodies what passes in California for tradition. So when the citizens learned Monterey was to be the scene of the first annual International Pop Festival, they were somewhat less than overjoyed. Police are worried about the use of marijuana and LSD. The performers are some of the biggest names in pop music today. And to those in their 40s and 50s who fondly remembered Benny Goodman and Tommy Dorsey, the names may sound bizarre. There's Big Brother and the Holding Company, Jimi Hendrix, Country Joe and the Fish, Quicksilver Messenger Service, and the Grateful Dead.
June of 1967, Sgt. Pepper has been released. It's playing from every window, and the entire music industry is gathering for this event, the International Monterey Pop Festival.
All of the musicians from all over the world came. No one refused. And it was the first international platform for a lot of San Francisco groups, and everyone was stoned out of their minds. And it was just a crazy event.
Everyone is converging in this one place. It becomes the nexus of this whole movement that's been building for the last 2 years. And Owsley shows up, and he has concocted a batch of acid specially for this event called Monterey Purple, and he's passing it out to everyone, and everyone is getting psychedelic. The moments at Monterey in which some of these performers were discovered, they became really epiphanies. Janis Joplin singing Ball and Chain, Hendrix no one even knew who Hendrix was. Before he even walked out on the stage. So whatever he did out on that stage, he was in a highly psychedelicized state. To think about Hendrix being that high as he was playing, and then think about all the people out in the audience being in that same state. It just was unprecedented. Record companies began rushing over themselves to sign these bands. There was money to be made in psychedelic music. And all of these groups got record deals as a result of that event.
There was a kind of sense that musicians had become the new leaders, people who were in touch with something, and they were putting out maps of how to live and what was possible, maps of possibility, and what's the next stage of the journey. There was this feeling for a while, like everything is possible.
And I think that pop musicians in today's generation are in a fantastic position. They can rule the world. Music is the whole thing, man. It's an expression of the younger generation.
Music is only the beginning. By 1967, psychedelic drugs are shaping American popular culture. And the bigger it gets, the more it starts making people nervous. To the Americans of traditional values, this looked like nothing less than the end of civilization as they knew it.
It's easy for you to stand there with a cigarette in one hand and a drink in another and tell us not to blow pot.
You think we're stupid? Maybe you're right. But does that make your generation so all-fired smart for getting hung up on grass?
The result was conflict, counter-reaction, culture war.